but my stories were either usually warnings, things we probably shouldn't be doing, or examples, things we really should be following. You know what? It's one of the greatest honors because I still, in my community, most people call me coach, because I was a coach for so long. And to me, that's a tremendous honor because I think it is a real show of respect that people honor that you embrace this profession to try to help young people. So I took it very serious. I mean, early in my career, I had some things where I wasn't clear about who I was, but those are things as I really got clear about my personal mission, what my core values were, and trying to live those, the best that I can with the idea that I am a human being. And when I screw up, I'm the ability to be vulnerable and share. And the other thing I really tried to talk to leaders about is I call it the CST. You got to be the chief storyteller. And you know what I always really try to emphasize, I would tell stories to my players almost every day. A lot of them about me, but some, or things like, because most of them are basketball players, is that I might tell a story about a college basketball team or a pro basketball team, and just trying to. But my stories were either usually warnings, things we probably shouldn't be doing, or examples, things we really should be following. And I think that's really important. The other thing is you mentioned, and I think it's really important to find people that you respect, that you learn from. And I had a local coach that, or actually I had two. And I'll tell you real quick. So the one was when I took over this small school for a couple of years. In the league, there was one guy, he was winning the championship every year, and the rest of the coaches couldn't stand him. It was jealousy because he was so good at what he did. Randy, I became best of friends with him because it's like, this guy knows what he's doing. I wanna learn from him. And then I had another guy that ended up, was a basketball coach, then he went in administration, and he's the one that challenged me about being a model. In fact, my last 23 years, I decided not to drink alcohol during the season, and now I pretty much don't drink alcohol at all. But it was a challenge that he said to me, not that I was drinking a ton of alcohol, but I was kinda like, after a game, I go and have a few beers, and so that was another thing that really helped me. And then the last thing I'll say with that is there's so many great people. I learned in the world of basketball, I followed John Wooden's career, the great UCLA basketball coach. I read, if there's an interview, I've listened to him and really tried to pick up what he's trying to do. And then there was a guy, in the personal growth or development, a guy named Jim Rohn that was Tony Robbins' first mentor. In fact, my wife always kidded when Jim Rohn passed away in 2009 that I could have kept going to his seminars because I listened to his words so much. But, so the thing that I really try to help young people or people in general in being better leaders, if you want to be a great leader, study leadership. And that's why I've read a lot. I've listened to a lot of people in trying to, and then you have to figure out what's going to work best for you. You can't be, Jim Rohn or John Wooden, but you can learn from them and then incorporate what you think can work for you.